heavy consumption of alcohol or heavy consumption of cigarettes is more dangerous to your health.
No, it isn't. Alcohol
cannabis.
is good for you. You take out the category. Have you been reading the Science Times? It's study after study. Alcohol is good for you. You should have a glass a day. Or two.
We'll have a glass after the show, and we'll test your theory.
Or two. No, it's true. Alcohol is good for you. Pot is not good for you. And in fact, it is very cancerous. Now they're getting these young kids coming in, having heart attacks at very young ages. And it's because they're potheads. And by the way, at least they'll save me money if they just go ahead and die. But they rarely just go ahead and die.
Nobody has ever overdosed on cannabis. Did you know that?
So what? They can't perform daily functions. They're going to be on my tax bill.
But you accept that people die of smoking. You accept that people can overdose on too much alcohol.
Well, everybody dies eventually. Look, the sole purpose for smoking pot or eating a pot brownie is to get high. That is not true with alcohol.
Yes,
people
it is.
Enjoy, well, maybe you're a 14-year-old. They're going to keg parties still.
Everybody drinks alcohol to get slightly higher than when they start drinking it, surely. What's the point of drinking alcohol?
Absolutely. I have done TV after drinks. I bet you have too.
Are you intoxicated
I'm drunk
now?
right now.
That would explain a lot of things. Have you ever smoked pot?
Wait, would you please let me finish one sentence, Piers Morgan?
You're rambling.
People enjoy wine. They drink wine for a purpose. They will buy $800 bottles of wine. Perhaps you have a warm feeling. It does not. You can tell if somebody's been smoking pot. Their eyes are red. They giggle at everything. And by the way, they're incapable of carrying on the normal functions.
Have you ever smoked pot?
No, I haven't.
Never in your life?
Almost none of my friends have because they're athletes.
So how do you know what it does?
Because I'm around potheads. Many of my best friends are potheads.
How many potheads are you around?
In fact, a lot of them, alcohol is good for you. Pot is not good for you. And in fact, it is very cancerous. Now they're getting these young kids coming in. Smoking, certainly. People smoke and stay up all night working. A lot of work gets done on tobacco. Whereas drugs are pretty much specifically just to get high. It's not, I'm
But a
enjoying
lot of people
the smell
drink
of this
to get
marijuana.
high.
Yeah, but that's more of a subsidiary point.
But you think most people drink for the taste, not to get high? I admit, I drink to get a little buzz.
No, a lot of people drink wine with dinner without getting
A lot of
drunk.
people do, but a lot of people drink to get high. We don't try to ban it. I mean, isn't getting high, altering your consciousness, part of freedom? People want to do that?
The other difference between alcohol and drugs, for one thing, I do think there's a difference that one is pretty much exclusively get high. The other one is I like a gin and tonic, or I'm having wine with dinner, and maybe you get a little bit of a buzz. No, heavy smokers work all night and then die young, saving the Social Security system money. For commercial purposes, for the purposes of the good of the country, we ought to encourage Americans to smoke like mad. They'd be incredibly productive, and then they'd die young and not have long, lingering deaths. Potheads, no, I'm going to be paying for their food, housing, now for their health care, apparently, because they can't perform any useful jobs. Can you imagine?
Why don't you get the folly of this drug war?
I have one statement for you, the welfare state. No, people cannot do whatever they want to do, live however they want to live, as long as Anne has to pay for it when they can't hold a job and raise their own kids and buy their own food and pay their own rent. You get rid of the welfare state and we'll talk about people sitting home shooting heroin all day. But right now, and now I have to pay for their health care.
So because we have a socialized welfare system, we have to give up all these other freedoms? Because people...
Yeah, as long as Anne is paying for it.
How about motorcycles? They be illegal?
No, because they tend to kill themselves. Same thing with smoking. Smokers die early. The tobacco companies won't tell you that, but smokers save the Social Security Administration
money on Social Security. Good. So they're helping us out.
Yes, they are. But as long as we have a welfare state, we have to care what people do with their lives and whether they can be productive citizens. Now, if you got rid of the welfare state, liberals want to destroy. This is an important point, libertarians. You listen to this. Liberals want to destroy the family so that you will have one loyalty, and that is to the government.
All right, you students, I'm sure want to weigh in here.
I really am just kind of annoyed with the fact that you are just perpetuating this stereotype that all our libertarians are quote-unquote stoners. I have never smoked pot before.
I don't think you are
I never want to. ever want to try, in all honesty, the drugs that are illegal, I don't want to try any of them.
I don't think any of you are stoners. You're nerds. He asked me about pot legalization.
My question is, how is it any of your business what I choose to put in my body if I'm not affecting anyone else?
Let the lady answer.
Okay, first of all, for alleged individualists, you're very mob-like. Second of all, it is my business. It is
All right,
my
but the
business.
question is, why is it your
when we are
business?
living in a welfare state? You get rid of the welfare state, and then we'll talk about drug legalization. But right now, I have to pay for, it turns out, coming down the pike, your health care. I have to pay your unemployment when you can't hold a job. I have to pay for your food, for your housing.
But if someone's not using any of those programs in a hypothetical world or whatever, then would you be okay with it?
Look, no, people cannot do whatever they want to do, live however they want to live, as long as Anne has to pay for it. You get rid of the welfare state, and then we'll talk about drug legalization. But right now, I have to pay for, it turns out, coming down the pike, your health care. Absolutely. I have done TV after drinks. I bet you have too.
Are you intoxicated
I'm drunk
now?
right now.
Sounds too good to be true, but on Saturday, the Daily Mail carried extracts from an extraordinary new book by science writer Tony Edwards, drawing on a wealth of medical evidence that says that alcohol is good for your health.